A pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to Super Foam Flying here on HJN. And now, well, you might look at this a little bit differently, but that's only because one of the blasters that you've seen in this corner of most of the episodes of Super Foam Flying has gone missing simply because, well, it's time to review it. For the first time here on HJN, I proudly present what many people might actually call the best Ultra Blaster out there, the good old Ultra 9. Project Pharaoh, as it's called otherwise. But of all Ultra Blasters that I've ever talked about this whole entire time, I really do gotta agree that this one really does hold a lot of amazing merits that the majority of the others don't necessarily hold quite as good. Because first of all, this is, well, one of the only types of Ultra Snipers that we've ever gotten our hands on so far. And even more so, this is a bit of an upgrade over the then pre-alpha level Ultra 7. And the 7, of course, never really made it past that stage where it was just shown in its original prototype pictures. But the point is that, well, it's almost like the 7 had pretty much been reincarnated and then brought onto the market finally after all these years, pretty much. But this is certainly a different blaster by any means. It's the 9, the 9th blaster in the Ultra series. It comes with a lot of different things in comparison to the 7. It comes with a longer clip, some exclusive golden Ultra darts, just simply called the Gold Stars, pretty much. You have a permanently attached scope, plus bolt action, which almost does remind me of the rival's Jupiter in a way, because of the way that the bolt can go up and down and then back and forth. Also, it's still important to note that many other things are also integrated into this. You have basically a compartment that you can put an extra magazine in. You also have a tactical rail on the bottom, which can allow you to put in possibly a bipod or something else of any sorts. And most importantly, you got yourself an almost realistic looking trigger. This is supposed to help with feel for the most part. There's one thing though that I really can't say about this blaster. It's the fact that, well, man, it sure does perform. Oh yeah. So of course, in this clip here, could go into the back if you wanted to. Of course, in my case, just gonna have it, well, idle. Having a lot of bounce back here lately. Probably is not a very good sign, but you know what? Oh man. Of course, I'm also curious to see pretty much if this will work with, let's say, the small 6-dart clip from the Ultra 10, which I'm more than confident that it will. And, well, apparently it does. This also does kind of bear a lot of resemblance to what the Ultra 7 was originally conceptually designed to be like. I almost got a feeling that this is the kind of magazine that they were originally going for when it came time to give out a final design phase for the 7 itself. But the 9, of course, comes with a clip that has double the capacity, its own particular color scheme of, well, it's like a tangerine yellow-orange in a way, plus a smoky black transparent plastic. It's that typical sort of double-sided plastic where one's opaque, one's transparent, and sometimes they can appear in multiple colors in a way. The 9's here is pretty unique for what it is. Being a sniper blaster itself, it does have that angled bottom on it, almost like a geometric form. And also, well, it has nearly double the capacity right here. Able to fit 10 darts at once. Of course, it's also, well, like I said, it comes with its own exclusive golden darts, the Gold Stars, as well. I've unofficially named them, pretty much. We already got our hands on Ultra Darts of all sorts, like the Flyers, which are just the regular Ultra Darts, if you will. Then there were the Screamers, which were basically the Ultra Whistler Darts. And now we have ourselves the Ultra Gold Stars. But later on, I will have to talk about another Ultra Blaster that does in fact have a whole different type of Ultra Dart in general. Pretty soon, we'll be talking about something called the Select. Yeah, that's apparently what it's really named. The 12th blaster in the series. Call it the 12. But you know what? Because I've already talked a bit about the 10 and the 9, I feel like that soon enough I'll also have to review yet another Ultra Blaster that came in between both of these. Both the 12, 9, and 10 pretty much. So, fire one more shot here. Then, let's go ahead. Because I gotta put this back inside the 10. And then of course, well, just put it in like that. And of course, let's just give out a little like final summarization in a way. The Ultra 9, being the 9th blaster in the Ultra series by far, Project Pharaoh, does happen to have some pretty nice merits built into it. The ability to shoot darts incredibly far, especially its own exclusive Ultra Darts that come in a specific color scheme, akin to the color scheme that it's already attributed. And then of course with the usage of an equipped barrel and a scope that you cannot detach, that does tend to take some points away because being modular is almost a necessary thing, especially when it comes to putting as much room on a wall or some other spot where you happen to store your blasters in. Let's also not forget the thing where on one side it's complete metallic gold for the Ultra placard, but on the other side the placard has white lettering with the same font nonetheless and with the same sort of like black background piece to it. But yeah, of course that's probably going to happen with every single Ultra Blaster out there. Maybe Nerf only has like half of the entire budget that they'll need to paint it in metallic gold, so that's why they go with their standard colors pretty much. But anyways, it's still a pretty good blaster. All my honesties basically point out to the fact that being an Ultra sniper rifle, I'm certainly able to get the comfort and feel that I would typically get out of most others. I mean, I've talked a bit about most other sniper-based blasters out there, from the Jupiter to the Raptor Strike, and then of course there were a handful of others, in a way. But, well, that's all I got to say about that. In terms of giving it a score, considering what I was able to find about it, both good and bad, I would not necessarily call it the best Ultra Blaster out there. Because it is pretty debatable by this point, because they all seem to do very good at plenty of things out there. And in spite of the many things that a lot of people tend to bring up, including the controversies and conspiracy theories about the line itself, thinking that Hasbro made a lie out of it, I really gotta say that this particular Ultra Blaster is really supposedly quite a bit of a missing link that should have been brought up a while ago. And because of everything else, I'd have to give this blaster a grand score of 8.6. Yeah, it's a bit higher for the most part, but it is still very accurate. The way I see this blaster compared to many other people, I tend to look at things a lot more differently. Mostly unheard of. But it's now time that I go ahead and, well, close off for right now, because I will have to have some more time spent so I can probably talk about other things like this in the future. But if you want to see more go down on my channel, then make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.